Yo, Bucko, it's Zero coming back to you with another figure review, and today we got none other than Hera Aka Spectre 2, and you know what that means. We got another comparison on our hands. After this one, we just have Kanan to do a comparison of, but the entire Ghost crew and Ahsoka will be getting reviews still. If you haven't seen it yet, I already did the review of Sabine, so if you have time after this video, go check her out. She got a much needed improvement on the face paint, which is something I wish I could say for Hera, because as I'll show you more later, my original Hera had a pretty decent face paint. But we'll take a closer look at that later. Yeah, I had a kind of a hard time justifying this one when I went to pre-order her, but I guess we will see if it's worth it. Now, before we move on to talking about the box, I figured I should start talking about the character and give a little more information and talk about what I like about them. So for now on, in all my reviews, or most of them at least, I'm going to try to do that. I did film a few figures before this video. There's like 5 or 6 videos that are still going to come out, but I wanted to prioritize this one, so don't be surprised if I don't talk about them in some of the videos coming up. But yeah, be on the lookout for those videos, because they're still good. Anyways, Hera, aka Spectre 2. She is the daughter of Hera Syndulla, who I believe he is in a few episodes of the Clone Wars. While I do not believe she can be seen in the Clone Wars herself, she said in the Rebels series that she pulled Chopper from a crashed Y-Wing that landed nearby her home, but what you probably know her best for is she's the pilot of the Ghost. The Ghost, if you didn't know, is a VCX 100. You know, the type of ship that Han, quote unquote, bets in a game of Sabacc against Lando. It's another Corellian type freighter, similar to Millennium Falcon, which is a YT 1300, or the Outrider, which is a YT 2400. Anyways, Hera managed to get this ship to fame alongside these other 2 legendary ships. She also test piloted what I believe is the first B-Wing, which is personally one of my favorite Rebel fighters, and proved her skill as a pilot where others had previously failed to fly under the planet's conditions. Also, in Rogue One, you can hear the intercom on the Yavin base calling her name, and the Ghost can be seen in Rogue One and The Rise of Skywalker. Honestly, I could talk about each one of the Rebels crew all day, since they are some of my favorite characters, but I'm going to stop myself there and move on to the box. And unlike Sabine's box, this one actually looks really good, so I actually get to enjoy it this time. Alright, so the front of the box, on both, you got Hera Syndulla, you got Star Wars Rebels on this one, got the Black Series on top, typical stuff. The side of the box, the original Hera was number 42. And then here's the new picture versus the old picture. And then on the back, moving to the back of the box. Pretty sure both these say the same exact thing. It says Hera Syndulla, the captain and the heart of the Ghost's rebel crew. Hera Syndulla was a gifted pilot and leader. Her command of her crew and the respect she earned from the Phoenix Squadron prompted her promotion to squad leader by Commander Soto. Oh, it actually does say something different. Okay, so this one says the captain and heart of the Ghost crew. Hera Syndulla was a gifted pilot and leader. The Twi'lek could bring out the best in her team, making them believe in themselves. I'm wondering, hold on, let me see something. Yeah, so that's strange. So the Sabine's box, the old and the new one, were pretty much exactly the same, but this box is different. So now I'm gonna have to actually pay attention the next time I get Kanan. And then moving on to the side of the box. The new one, you just got Star Wars Black Series. On this one, it just says Heresy, 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 Harrison. Then top of the box, you got your window again. Very cool. Top of this box, nothing. Bottom of that box, unreadables. Oh no. Bottom of this box, more unreadables. since I do have the Sabine on hand, I'm going to show you what they look like put together. You see her blaster connects there. I will be putting together the other boxes as I get them. The only problem is I'm not getting Chopper because I already have him, and he is not getting an update. So there's no reason to buy the box unless he goes on sale for super cheap, which I really doubt. Now let's free her from her plastic prison. So here she is out of the box, and it's still hard to tell which I prefer yet. Actually, no, I'm starting to tell which one I kind of prefer. But before I do an up close and personal look at these two, let's take a close look at her accessories. And she only comes with one accessory, and that is her Blurg 1120 blaster pistol. Now, honestly, they almost look identical. Can't really tell much of a difference here at all. This is the old one. This is the new one. The new one definitely has a cleaner paint application on it. Yeah, it's a lot cleaner. Yeah, the new one has a... Yeah, definitely a lot cleaner for the paint application. Actually, that goes over... I don't know. Both of them are a little messy. It's funny because silver on here is put on a lot better, but the gold on this one is put on a lot better, so that's strange. Then you can also put the blaster into her boot holster. Kinda handy. Now it's time to get an up close and personal look at her. So this is the old one, and this is the new one. And honestly, I had my doubts at first, but this one, I don't know, because the paint on this one is clean, but this is definitely looking a lot better. Yeah, this... At first I was like, maybe this wasn't worth it, but yeah, I think this is worth it for the updated face paint. Alright, so... As far as the face goes, I guess if you want a more cartoony look, definitely go with the older one. If you want a more realistic look, go with the newer one. She has light pink on her lips on the old one, where this is more of a realistic. This is more what she looks like. Probably throw a picture up on screen so you can see it better. This is definitely a lot more what she looks like with the darker lips. And then in terms of her, gosh, what are these called? They're called Leku. So on her Leku, you have her, I don't know if those are tattoos or if they're just like what they are, but on the old one it's a lot thinner. On the new one it's a little thicker. It's a lot harder to tell on the camera, but in person you can definitely tell. They also did a slightly darker gray for the paint, so it's easier to tell that versus this where it's more, it more blends in. I actually think that look makes it look a lot better. In terms of the goggles, they're painted almost exactly the same. They both are just slightly messy. For her like pilot cap, the paint goes over a little bit on the new one, so definitely that wins a point in the old book. In terms of paint, both of them almost look exactly the same. I feel like this is a slightly darker brown, and then also both of them both the centers are misaligned, so they messed up the paint there, but hers looks a lot cleaner still. Wow, they complete. Okay, so on my old one, doesn't. Oh, never mind. It does have silver. It just doesn't have as much silver painting on the little wrist buttons. Yeah, same thing over there. Also, it looks like they use a slightly darker orange plastic for the new one. So, I don't know if I like that better or not, but it doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, so this one didn't get a lot of changes, unlike the Sabine. The one I'm really waiting for is the Kanan, though. I feel like that's going to be where the whole update shine. Definitely Ahsoka too, because Ahsoka's paint was messy as well. But this here, either one is passable. I don't know, it's hard to decide which one I like better. Moving on to Articulation. She has a hinge at the neck, and then a ball joint goes up into the head. And she has a hinge and swivel at the elbow. She also has the softer plastic here, so it doesn't get in the way of the articulation too much. She has a hinge and swivel at the elbow. She has a hinge and swivel on the wrist. And this one's weird because she has the trigger finger on the right side. So this one goes up and down, or on the left side, my bad. This one's weird because she has the trigger finger on the left side. So this one goes up and down for your aiming purposes, while it's opposite on the right hand. Usually it's the other way around. This one goes in and out. Then you got like a ball joint at the torso, which that's a lot better than Sabine's. It looks like it wouldn't be, but that's a lot better than Sabine's. And you can kind of see in there. She has like a green joint. Her legs go sideways, and then they kick out that far. She has a double jointed knee. She can kick her own ass. And then she has a hinge and swivel at the ankle, and then a forward facing pin for rocker. Alright, and now we can pose her. Now we're going to show her off next to some other figures. Here she is next to the old Kanan, Chopper, and the updated Sabine Wren. And here she is next to the original Stormtrooper. Here she is next to Lord Vader. Here she is next to the Mandalorian and Boba Fett. And here she is next to some other Rebel pilots. We got Jaina Solo. We got Wedge Antilles. We got Luke from Episode 4. And then we got Luke in his Snowspeeder gear from Empire Strikes Back. And finally, here she is next to Luke Skywalker Squawker. So, honestly, my final thoughts are, I'm thinking I could have skipped out on buying this again. On one hand, it is kind of worth it to have her look realistic. On the other, I still kind of like how the original release looks. So, I'm torn. Do I regret buying this? No. I definitely am glad they re-released her, especially with that new sexy ass box. But I definitely can say that if you don't have her, definitely buy her. Either version looks good, in my opinion. But if you already own her, maybe you could skip this and spend the money on one of the other updated members of the Rebels crew, like Kanan or Ahsoka, which hopefully I should be getting my hands on really soon. And also, after I get the full crew assembled, I think I'm going to do a whole video about the crew, so definitely stay tuned for those videos. And as always, you can bring them in warm or you can bring them in cold. Good hunting, and thanks for watching.